So I was like, it just sucked me. I was like, it just sucked me.
Boom!
What?
Look at that!
That means we're live.
That means we're live.
He's in the middle of a conversation.
What just happened?
The look on his face, that's gonna...
He was getting deep.
And then you looked at me like, what's going on? And you even know it's coming.
I didn't flinch that.
That was one of the best intros ever. All right, Ask the Boss, episode
20.
No.
Bobby, help me.
Bobby.
26.
All right,
No,
put
it's
in like
totally
a silly
wrong.
emoji.
38.
I thought it was on 27.
24.
Yeah, I think we're at like 30. Anyway, special edition. We got the man himself, Seth Feroce here, representing Primeval Labs. We have a big event. We're filming in Arlington Nutrition Corner today, so welcome, Seth. And of course, we have the star of the show, Maury Povitz.
Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Meaty Thighs. Bleep that out.
Can we first comment on these tight pants? Look at
tight
these.
pants. I know where the meaty
So
thighs
if you're-
come from.
Yeah. And for everyone at home, these are Old Navy. They're like buy one, get one free, $18. Just so you know, put a little ad in here, like tag Old Navy, and we can get some deals. Let's also comment on Seth's muscle suit he's wearing. This thing going on up here. Not
I
really.
wore my medium today.
Not sure what's
We're
going
training
on.
later, so I had to look really good.
All right. Anyway, so we got some questions. We've posted up a couple images on Seth's page, my page, the Nutrition Corners page, all
Been
over.
everywhere. We got a lot of questions.
At the end of the day, we're going to ignore all the questions, and we just said media ask us some questions.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
here we go. Number one.
Number one. All right. So we do these. Everybody knows. Doug.
I have no clue what's happening.
It's Ask the
by way.
Boss.
Yeah.
So everybody knows who you are. So we want to learn a little bit more about Seth. So introduce yourself. Tell us about your bodybuilding career, your business career.
But you
Tell us-
only have 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give us the highlights.
I'm a short, fat white guy. Just wanted to lift weights.
There you go.
Now you're here.
Now I'm here. I got here. No, I turned pro in 2009. I was the dude that just dreamed of being a bodybuilder when I was young. And then
So how old were you when you turned pro?
25. I turned pro on my 25th birthday.
That's pretty young.
November 21st, 2009 in Fort Lauderdale, Florida at Nationals with Cedric. That was a ball. The guy's crazy. No, I turned pro. It was like a dream come true. And then after that, I got sponsored by Muscle Tech. Won my pro debut in 2010 at the Dallas Europa show. After that, I wanted to go to the big boy class because it was really hard making 202 because that's what before it was 212 class, it was 202. And I was like, I don't feel like
So you won nationals as a light heavy?
Yeah, 197.
Wow.
It was tough getting there.
That makes me not want to compete in light
Yeah.
heavies at nationals.
And then the next year, I was working with Hani, so we did the Dallas Europa at 202, and it was really hard getting a 202 because we kept my weight down, but you're just going to grow given what we do. And then after that, I was like, I'm taking a year off to grow, and then that went okay, and then competed at Toronto, didn't go so well there, and then I had like a meltdown personally. Me and Hani separated because I was kind of being a little bit of a douchebag, and then and then went to the Sarasota show in I think it was 2002 or 2012. It was a 212 show, and my body absolutely shit the bed, and that's whenever I kind of threw my hands up and said, "Fuck it, I'm done."
So you're in a 5-year off season.
Yeah.
So
I
he's
think I'm
taking
gonna
my
take another
plan. It's
6.
the 5-year off
I'm going to go
season.
for a
and then,
sixth year. You know, I'm 365 days out from my next show.
And so right now, what you got going on is All-American Roughneck is your clothing.
Yeah,
apparel.
so I came back 2 years ago. Almost been 2 years with the image of the All-American Roughneck. It's because that's what I am. From Western PA, we're just podunk idiots that just like having a good time, work hard. It's blue collar. That's what I grew up on. And that mentality is what I trained with to turn professional. And then whenever I came back, I'm like, nobody makes the working man cool. The working man is the shit. Like, you hustle. You hustle. If you hustle, you get things. But everybody glorifies the objects at the end of the road, not the fucking road.
Yep.
Not the road. And that's really
No,
what
you
I...
can let the F-bombs go.
Okay, cool. I'm good then.
You'll bleep them out.
I'm not sort of
Well,
sweating.
he won't even read it.
We'll
No,
make
that's
them
your brand, man. You got to have
So,
them in there.
so with it, I was like, make this cool again. Make the hardworking American family cool. And that's what we did, and that's where it's going. And, it's grown into something pretty spectacular because that's what makes up, everything. Like, I look at it as saying, like, I look at my old man, I look at my mom, I look at, you, like, you start somewhere and you're like, you have a dream and you're like, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it until I get there.
And you just figure it out.
And you figure it out. I do not. My degree is in safety science. I do not have a business degree. I do not have anything. I have no knowledge. But I wanted to start an apparel company that meant something.
Yeah.
It had meaning. When you wear a hat, when you wear a shirt, it means something. And that's where it came from. And now I'm like, oh, so I got to figure out how business works.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do with
You
this
got to pack
money?
thousands of order on Black Friday.
Yeah, Black Friday went crazy. I'm like, so I got to take all this money and do something with it. Okay, I'm gonna go broke again, trying to make it work, and then it works, and you're like, wow, this must just be what an entrepreneur, small business owner, whatever the fuck you want to call it, works.
Yeah.
Scare yourself shitless every time.
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
Great story.
All right, so Primeval Labs, how long you been with Primeval?
Been with Primeval Labs like about 4 months now.
4 months.
Yeah, really
So
great company.
Why Primeval? And
So, I was, whenever I stepped away from Blackstone and I was, doing some reviews online on YouTube about supplement companies, everybody started sending me stuff and I had all full intentions of not signing with the company, but then whenever Primeval sent me their amino acids, sent me 1 can of amino acids, everybody else sent me pre-workouts, this, that, and the other, and they sent me amino acids. I'm like, who's this dickhead? Like, he wants me to review this. And then I put it off for a while, was sitting on my kitchen counter, and then one day after cardio, I was like, I'm going to try these aminos. Pretty good, tasty, an orange sherbet, I wanted to try them. I took them, and I'm like, this is the best tasting supplement I've taken yet. Took them again, and I was like, man, I feel like, after cardio, I was like, I feel good. I felt better for the next couple hours, and I was like, couldn't have been them things, no fucking way. There's no way. Did it again the next day, and they were good, and then I was like, okay, so I called the guy, called Anthony, and I was like, hey, like, what's the story? And he's telling me about quality and about how quality is one of their, that's pretty much their primary goal, quality and taste. Because a lot of companies in the industry aren't like that.
Yep.
And so that's whenever he was like, what's it gonna take for us to work together? Because, you are quality. That's what your brand stands for. That's what your whole image is. Like, I lied, I cheated, I stole, and I don't do those things anymore. And that's his mentality as well. And he was one of the first people I talked to from the industry that had that same mentality. Just a hard-working dude that wants to be honest and go forward with it. So he pretty much wrote me in, and right now with Mega Pre, it was cool because I was involved in the formulation of it, and it's one of those things that's like, that's what I wanted to do. When we first had conversations, he said, would this interest you? Are these some of the things you'd like to do? And I'm like, yeah. And that's how we started working together. So it's
Well, it's a lot easier for you to promote too.
Oh,
if you're designing the products, I mean, these are products that you freaking use.
And
They're not just writing a check to you. You actually care about the product.
Yeah, man, and in the industry, everybody knows that those things happen. And knowing everything about you with Miracle Labs and Core, it's like, and even Andy Fusilla, it's like, bro, it's quality. Quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you get deep into the industry, you find it's
It's
hard
It's
to
a little
between,
seedy. It's like, and it's just like, it's a little dirty.
It's tough, bro. Every business is, dude. You're gonna find dickheads in every business,
Yeah.
in every walk of life, and it's one of those things that, like, you just kind of maneuver your way through and find out what you
That's
like.
why we love partnering with companies like you guys, like the good quality people, the good guys. Like as I was saying to you, like this is a small industry, and you know quickly who the good guys are and who the not so good guys are.
Yeah, everybody's got their agenda.
Yeah.
It's understandably so.
All right.
Some guys like pussy is number one. It's number 2.5 for me.
All right, so let's do this. This was a really good question. What gym had the biggest, so this is both of you guys, what gym had the biggest impact on your bodybuilding career, whether it was the gym itself or the relationships that you made inside of that gym?
Mine will be real easy. That gym right across the street. So I lived like next door here, and for 8 or 9 years, every day I'd walk across the street and go to the gym. It's like a dungeon gym. It's just like everyone there. You just go in there and get it done. And that was the gym where I've made more gains than anywhere else. So it has I don't get back there much anymore, so it's gonna be cool. We're gonna be training arms there today, so we'll have a cool video from that. But that gym means a lot to me.
Was it the gym itself too, or is there any relationship made there that was?
Oh, I mean, my old training partner, Dan Cruz, like all the guys that still shop in the store, good relationships. But for me, it was just like, I just had this routine of like when I went in there and I smelled the musty, basement because you train underground there. It just had like, I'm ready to go,
There's gonna be a lot of meat sweat in there today.
You're all about the meat sweat.
Yeah, I'll be smelling rank.
All right, Seth, how about you?
Oh shit. It's actually similar. York's Gym. That was the gym that I first started whenever I was 13 years old. My old man took me whenever I was 13, right after the one season after wrestling. And just the people, the environment had that smell. Like you walked in, it was unlike anything I've ever seen. There was cables. Like I'm used to working with sand weights in the basement.
Yeah.
So like there was cables in there. I'm like, oh shit, that's a cable crossover. I've seen that in a magazine before. I can't wait to use it. And then like it was all full of a bunch of bodybuilders.
And this is out in Pittsburgh? Like
It's in New Kensington. It's kind of a shitty area in our area. It's in Parnassus, which is kind of it's a downed area, but back then it wasn't so bad. Shit, that was like 20 years ago. That's crazy. But anyway, I mean, a lot of gyms had a lot of effect, but the people there, the York brothers, it was 4 brothers that initially owned it. And like all of them were solid dudes. They were all like 5'2", all stupid solid jack guys. So I fit right in with them. And they kind of took me under their wing and just taught me the basics. And that's whenever that's where I remember I was looking at all the magazines and one of the guys was like, you want to be a pro bodybuilder one day? I'm like, yep, I'm going to be. And they were like, all right, let's see it. Like I'll never forget that.
So who was the pro bodybuilder that like you like in all the magazines? You read the muscle mags and all that stuff.
Cutler.
Who was the guy? Cutler.
Cutler.
And isn't it cool now that you go to in the industry and you see Cutler and he's probably, hey, what's up, Seth?
I've done cardio, eaten breakfast, had dinner many times with that guy, and it's like I'm like, man, like my idol's here. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
Like Cutler's a good guy. And like in public, he's
he's kind of shy. He's like soft spoken.
That's what I mean. He's a really good dude, and he doesn't say anything wrong like I do. Like he's very professional, and that's made him who he is today. You know, and that's why he's still killing the game. But like whenever you get with him and you become friends with him, he has a very dry personality that'll catch you off guard and be like, oh, you're fucking with me. He's a good dude. I really like him.
Yeah,
really like
he
him.
is a good guy.
Yeah.
All right, so what about you then? Because this is kind of like a question. Who got you into fitness? What was your inspiration? Something like that. So Jay was an inspiration to Seth.
I mean, I read all those magazines, like back in 2000, 2001, 2002, like all those guys, like Flex Wheeler, Kevin Levrone, Ronnie, all those guys, like I followed them like some people follow NFL, it's just like, you couldn't wait for the magazine to come out. Yeah, I mean, there wasn't one person in particular. I just was kind of infatuated with it all. I was like, this is crazy. These guys are freaks, But related to that, the gym that got me started was right after college. Moved into Silver Spring, Maryland. It was a little rinky-dink gym. I was like the only white dude in the gym, so they like took me and they make fun of me and all that stuff because I would like to listen to rock and they all listened to this like rap crap at the time, and they would never change the channel. Like, you're outnumbered here, bro. Like, you can't change the channel. So anyways, but they took me under the wing and they were the ones that said, hey man, you should compete. You got a good physique. Why don't you try it? So Silver Spring, Maryland. It was like an Olympus gym back in the day. Really cool place. Yeah.
All right. What are some of your staple meals, and when do you eat them? Meals that you've been eating for years.
Everybody knows mine.
What's yours?
Chicken and rice, motherfucker. Made that video like it was. The chicken and rice is something that's always just worked for me. It's like my.
Do you have vegetables with the rice or no veggies?
No, I don't.
Some people skip the veggies.
Don't do a lot of veggies.
And is it
with
white rice?
Yeah, white rice. I just
white rice is so good.
Yeah, just do chicken and rice because that was like I say it's my baseline. Like whenever I feel like crap, I just eat chicken and rice. Whenever like I know I need to get a little bit leaner, cut everything out, just eat chicken and rice. It was like just my mentality of being that dumb and that simple.
Yeah.
And it worked out, and I was like, okay. So that's whenever I started doing like the whole. That's how I got back into being able to do a vacuum and clean my gut out. And I was like, I'm just gonna eat chicken and rice and like clean myself out and do a couple of digestive enzymes and yada 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 and push everything out. And that's whenever
take a big shit.
Yeah, you need to take a big dump. Bro, enough people in the industry are just like, oh, I'm gonna eat this, I'm gonna eat potatoes, I'm gonna eat my 2 cups of oatmeal, I'm gonna eat a pound of potatoes at 3 of the meals a day. I'm like, bro, that's why your gut looks like that. It's not from growth, it's not from slint, it's from eating like shit. Because that was an experiment that I did with myself where I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take all these things and eat chicken and rice and I'm gonna do a vacuum at 245 pounds. I did. And that's what worked out. So it was like kind of a little experiment of mine that I did, and it's just, bro, it's all about eating. It's just about eating what agrees with your body. Chicken and rice. That's simple. Very simple. Real dumb.
Well, my breakfast every day is the same. I've posted this multiple times, and I get more likes on this picture. It's 3 pieces of Ezekiel toast, 3 pieces of fat-free cheese, and 3 whole organic eggs on the top. And that's it, simple. It's like 50 carbs, 50 protein, and like 15 or 20 fat. That's
Nice.
it. But that is my breakfast every morning, and I was just like, that's heaven.
Look forward
It's
to
a
it.
little slice of heaven. So I had it this morning. And then before bed, my staple. My meals in between, I'm like a chicken rice guy, but I'm really big into, I really like ground beef, like red meat. So I eat beef probably at least once or twice a day.
Oh, really?
In addition to the chicken. And then nighttime, I make my sludge, my treat at night. So I'll take a scoop of just plain casein, a scoop of Core Pro, little blueberries,
Yep.
and then 2 tablespoons of natural peanut butter. Throw that in the fridge, and then or the freezer. Let it freeze up, and then I sprinkle some like Fiber One like Crunch cereal on top. This is no joke.
This
every
takes
night.
time
It
every
keeps
night.
going.
It's-
So I
it's a
prepare it the
routine.
night before. So after I'm done eating, I prepare it for the next night, so I don't forget. Because I get pissed if I forget and I go home and I don't have my little treat at night.
It's not
That's like
frozen?
50
Yeah.
grams of frozen protein in the freezer. I get pissed.
Yeah.
So I always remember doing it the night
Wife
before.
and kid, and everybody gets mad.
Yeah. Oh, my wife's got her own thing too. Her little thing is in the freezer next to mine.
Nice.
She's a bro too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Doesn't it get more though? A little whipped cream, don't you?
No, that's Steph. She does the whipped
okay.
cream shit. I don't mess with that.
All right, let's keep it going. Peri-workout nutrition and supplementation, and then somebody did ask about EAAs versus BCAAs with carbohydrates during workouts. Your opinion on that? What's more beneficial? I know Primeval has an EAA supplement, where Core has a BCAA supplement. So
Yeah, I actually have seen one of the advertisements that says BCAAs not anabolic, anti-catabolic, and I think that's a great way to
Yeah.
to break it down. There's been some of these meta studies, and some people are trying to discredit the use of BCAAs, but leucine freaking works. It's and
But it's a
especially
staple in almost on so many supplements.
yeah.
so
I
many
mean, and if you're eating full meals, having BCAAs between your meals, there is going to be an effect. It's not. I don't consider it necessarily an anabolic supplement where you're going to build muscle, but it certainly is anti-catabolic, especially when your calories are down. And I mean, it's a great product.
I think that's what the new study that came out that started this whole. There was a new. I don't know who posted it or where it came from. It was within the past few months, and or the study's been done over years, and it just came. The final study came out or whatever it is. But they were saying BCAAs are anti-catabolic. Yes, we've all known that. That's why when you're in prep, you must have BCAAs.
Yeah.
You have to. It's been a staple, and they've been known to work forever. The EAAs they're saying are anabolic. Well, they're not going to make you grow astronomically. I say the whole purpose of them is just to tell the body to do what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to increase ATP production in the body. Very simple. Stay hydrated. All those are already key with everyday life, and that's the only difference of that. That's what I think. That's why whenever I took the product, I was like, man, I actually feel like a little bit more hydrated. I feel a little bit better. But I mean, whenever it comes to prep, you have to have both.
Yeah.
Have to. You have to. Have to have these.
So what is your supplement? What is your supplement stack? Your over-the-counter supplement stack?
Thank you for clarifying that for everybody.
especially peri-workout.
Yeah, around your workout.
So every day, 5 to 6 days a week, I do my morning cardio. That's been one thing now is just heart health. I do 1 scoop of EAA Max from Primeval Labs every day after cardio. Pre-workout, right now I do 2 scoops of Mega Pre and 1 scoop of Intracell from Primeval Labs. The Intracell is their cyclic dextrin carbohydrate, just 10 grams. I don't need much. I'm not trying to get bigger. I just like 10 grams. Intra-workout, I take 1 scoop of EA Max, and then post-workout, I'll do another scoop of EA Max with maybe probably another half to a whole scoop of Intracell. Every now and then I'll throw in a little bit of a stim pre-workout, like on deadlift day or squat day, just because I'm not going for, I do a little bit of stims just because I like it. I don't overstimulate the body because I know what it does, and I know it'll whack me out because I drink, I already have a couple cups of coffee in the morning.
You're not a big protein guy, right?
I can't.
Yeah.
I wish I could.
Yeah.
I wish I could. I'm lactose intolerant.
So you have to eat a lot of chicken.
Well, I eat a lot of whole food.
Yeah.
Not so much anymore. I eat 5 meals a day now. But
How many
yeah,
calories do you think you're eating a day, though? Yeah.
right around now in the holidays. But
So
no,
you like your yummy
basis,
treats,
regular,
too,
yeah, dude. Regular day, probably 2,500 calories.
Yeah.
Maybe 3,000.
That's what I probably eat 3,300. People are like, you don't eat more than that? I'm like, bro, that's still a lot.
What?
And the older I get, the less I just want to eat. Like, well, first of all, I'm busy. It takes so much time, and I'm like, I don't want to feel full, like I'm going to vomit all day long.
That's my thing. I'm like, I just want to feel good, and I want to look good naked.
There you go.
And at that point, so it's kind of like with competing, it's like if I want to get big, I know exactly what I need to do to achieve it, so I just do it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, the proteins, I mean, I'm sitting here looking at all these, I'm like, I really wish I could eat snickerdoodle, but snickerdoodle's going to be coming out of my ass if I eat it. Yeah, man, but it's, you know, and that's the other thing that I tell people all the time, like, I'm sponsored by a supplement company. I love Primeval Labs, I believe in what they do, but like, whenever it comes to a protein powder, well, you have to find, everything has to agree with you. It has to agree with you.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're taking a protein powder and it does not agree with your stomach and you're crapping it out and just sitting there uncomfortable and all this, bro, stop taking it.
Yeah.
You got to move on. You got to find things that work for your body because everybody's different. I mean, if everything was the same, you wouldn't have a store.
Right.
You know, that's what makes this industry great and what makes it fun.
Yeah.
I love this shit.
Cool. We love this shit too.
Yeah. That's why we're here, sitting about talking about it.
All right. So on your post, there was a lot of ask Doug about his supplement stack. #FakeNatty. Ask Doug the hard questions. Seth, do you think Doug's natural? All this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the hard stuff. You're open and honest on your YouTube.
Yeah, dude.
You claim natural.
That was him. He's on his troll account going, this guy's full of shit. I'm gonna come up. Seth will fucking call him.
I'm making up fake accounts.
Yeah, that was him making those posts.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna get him tomorrow. Oh, damn it.
So,
You're fired.
Yeah. who's the new
Yeah, Cunt, get in here, replace me, Corey Povich. Oh, man.
Yeah, so, you're open and honest about it, you know, and you get hate, and people hate you, you know, because, you know, so let's talk about the hard stuff.
So what's the question?
I guess the first question, there's really not questions.
They just want to know, are you lifetime natural?
Yeah, Seth, do you think Doug's natural?
I can assume all I want to because people still assume I'm on a bunch of gear. But I mean, right now I take 500 milligrams of testosterone a week, and that's all I take. And they're like, you're full of shit. I'm like, oh, no, well, this is what happens whenever it's 12 years of running shit. You know what I mean? And I'm real with it because I see so many other people out there hurt themselves.
Right.
You know what I mean? With Doug, it's like, Doug claims natural, he's natural. If anybody wants to say anything against him, that's perfectly fine because people talk shit forever. There's only a few people I've ever met in my life that were just 100% natural freaks of nature. And like, I couldn't believe that they were, but they were because, like Charles Shakti was one of them. He was 147 pounds. He benched 447 fucking pounds.
Jeez.
Natural. Went to Russia and did it back in the day, like in the 80s and shit. He was just one of them powerlifters. I'm like, I don't, bro, he's just stupid strong, farm boy strength, and that was what it was, you know? So seeing those things happen, like it's just, and that's kind of why, you know, Doug's a genetic freak.
I mean, I think people do it, or say those things because it makes it more obtainable and realistic. Like it makes it easier on them to accept that they might not have the genetics or the work ethic to get there, and so it makes them feel better about themselves, right? Like that's the only reason. I mean, that's the main reason that it happens, you know.
Yeah, I mean, and plus it's everybody's own pursuit of what they want to achieve in life. You know what I mean? If you want to do things your way, nobody's stopping you. Nobody's stopping me from doing what I want to. Point blank, the reason I love the IFBB, the NPC, was because they told me, not their own way, they didn't tell me, but all you have to do is show up on stage. There's no fucking rules. I was like, oh, yeah, let's go. This is my place, you know? So at that point, I was like, okay, like I understood what I was getting myself into, but I also wanted to be Jay Cutler. You know, and after so long, I was like, the only way for me to achieve this is to do this. And, you know, because I don't have crazy genetics like Doug does. I mean, I'm pretty well genetically gifted, but at the same time, like, I knew what I needed to achieve. I knew what I needed to do to achieve what I wanted. And that's one of the things that, like, I tell people, you have to understand the risks involved with everything. Like, I am fully aware of what was going to happen to me. Hence, one of the reasons I don't compete today, because I'm fully aware of it.
Yeah. So do you think because of your past experiences is where you are right now?
No,
Yep.
for sure, 100%. It's not a fucking joke.
Yeah.
It's not.
I think that's what's I respect you so much because you're so clean about it.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that, like, there are some holier than thou naturals that think that anyone who uses, steroids is like the devil, and people know that that's not the case with me, because I mean, like, you still have to work hard, you still have to do all those things, right?
Oh.
My big thing is just like, if you're gonna use drugs, just compete where you can use drugs. There's no rules, right? If you're gonna, but don't try to use drugs and then try to compete as an addict.
Yeah,
right?
don't
Like,
do that.
That's just lame.
Don't do that. That's a big
that's
dick
just
move.
lame.
Yeah.
And that's the big, but then you have these, like, I think the holier than thou natties kind of give us all a bad name,
Sure.
because they're running around thinking they're better than other people.
Right.
I mean, like who the hell are you?
And
You
that goes both ways. I mean, that's like just what we were getting back to about companies. There's
Yeah.
shitbags everywhere. You know what I mean? And that's what creates these controversies, and that's what's fun about the trolls on the internet everywhere, on YouTube and on Instagram and on Facebook. But it's like I say that anybody that walks through the door of a gym, like, bro, they're there to accomplish something. I don't care what it is, but as long as you treat everybody with a certain level of respect, I'm cool with you. Like, I don't care who you are.
So here's a question that I always love, and I love to ask people, like our celebrities when they come on. And so, if you could go back and talk to Seth at 18 years old, what would you tell him? Like, what are the things that you really? I mean, we've all done things wrong.
That's a tough one. That's a good one. Keep going, I'm sorry.
Or Seth as, like, you had a son who's 18 years old. Like, what could you go back? I mean, really, I'd like for you to, like, talk to yourself at 18. Like, what would you tell that person? Like, would you change a lot of things? Would you do things all the same?
That's one thing that, after a couple of beers and smoking a doobie, you start thinking about things. Everybody's sitting around thinking some of this. And there was that thing, the memes on there. It's like, if you take the red pill, like you're $50 million. You're $50 million at age 40. Like, well, I'm not too far away from 40. But if you take the blue one, you're back in high school and stuff. Like, you start over. And you know what you know now. And I'm like, oh, man. So it's tough because I think about that a lot because of where I am and what sits in front of me today. Everything that I have today comes from every mistake and every good thing that has ever come. And I have a really great life. I lived a wild life. I've done some crazy shit. I've done a lot of bad things and I've done a lot of good. And right now where I stand, I have the opportunity to do a lot of good. You know what I mean? The reason I'm having the response I do on YouTube and on all social media is because I'm not lying.
Yeah.
I don't have a reason to lie. I've done that long enough in my life to know that I ain't doing that shit no more. So it's like to go back and to talk to me, if I was to see me in the gym, I had a lot of people give me good advice. And the thing was, the guys were just like, understand that for everything you do, there's going to be a consequence.
Yeah, I mean, and you have to experience it yourself. That's the thing.
Yeah, dude, you got to. You really got to. You got to live it. And I think that. Oh man, I don't know if I give him advice. I'd just be like, just done because.
Hold on, brother.
Yeah, hold on.
It's gotta be a bumpy 10 years, but you'll get through it.
It's gonna be nuts. You're gonna have kids, and they're just gonna come out of nowhere, and like, oh shit. I should have thought about that a little better.
Oh man.
That's good though.
What do we got, Meaty? We got anything else in there?
Are we good, Bobby? 2 minutes. All right, real quick. I like this question.
But we can keep going. He needs to stop the film. That's what we're filming.
What is the biggest adversity you have overcome as it relates to business, bodybuilding, and/or personal? We get deep in here,
Oh, that's intense.
We're talking deep.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Because I have I did a lot of wild shit in college, okay, so like now this awesome version of myself.
It's overcome.
Like back in college, like I used to be afraid of people finding out what I did, like because I was a wild bastard. I did a lot of drugs. I partied a lot. I just trained a lot. I was the big guy on campus that trained, but also liked to party. And whenever I first got famous, I turned pro, I was really worried because I was a clean-cut white kid. People were going to come out and be like, that dude did a lot of drugs. He's a bad person. And then like I was terrified of it. Now I sit here and I'm like,
you embrace it.
Yeah, dude, that's what I did. You're going to do it too. Like, you're going to get involved in somewhere and you're going to be like, I probably shouldn't be here, but I'm having a really good time. I think I'm going to do it. Like, that's part of life. Yeah, but...
Anything in particular you regret?
You know, no. I've seen a lot of people not make it out. You know, addicted to drugs, have problems, not graduate because of this, and then fall apart. Just a slew of problems and never actually take the next step to adulthood. And I was fortunately enough able to make it out and then do what I do now, which I love.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I make money by doing something that I love.
Isn't that the best?
The coolest thing in the world.
Yeah.
And that's what, when I wake up in the morning and people are like, what motivates you? That shit right there. I get to wake up, kiss my 2 kids good morning, make my cup of coffee how I like to make it, and go fuck shit up. Like, that's my mentality. It's awesome.
Man.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's 16, 18 hours of work a day, I'm doing it because
Yeah.
it's great.
Yeah.
It's not work when you love what you do, right?
No, man, really isn't.
That's awesome.
Well, I appreciate you, man.
Oh, dude,
Thanks for
thank
coming
you
by.
guys,
It was great
for sure.
having you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thanks, guys.
Thank
I
you
like
all for tuning in. Until next time, who knows who we'll have. Keep crushing it.
Do something. Yeah.
Do something. There you go.
If you wanna ride, then I gotta say, hop in at your discretion.